Why is Hex better than Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's the fundamentals of the code. The fundamentals of the code are better than Bitcoin's fundamentals. The inflation model is better than Bitcoin's inflation model. The staking feature is better than a mining feature. It's new tech versus old tech. It's decentralized versus centralized. Yes, all of those things. Well, ahoy, crypto pirates. Welcome to Chatting with the Captain. I am the Captain, your Captain RG3, still doing it. I was looking at that video, that intro video that the lovely Wild SJ made for us. She put a bunch of, clips from everybody. I was looking at that and going, man, I miss that guy. I miss that guy. I miss that guy. I miss that guy. Wonder where they went. Wonder where they've all gone. Yeah, but I'm still here. Some of them are gone. Some of them are still hanging out. Some of them are just taking a much needed break. Can't stand the heat. Kitchen getting a little warm in here, but things are starting to change, folks. If you haven't noticed or heard from me or any of my tweets, the Ethereum OTC trades, let's not call it OTC trades. Let's just call it hundreds of millions of dollars of Ethereum for some reason over the last week has started moving from wallet to wallet, or from an old wallet to this new wallet, or from wallets to exchanges. It's a lot of Ethereum moving around the background that wasn't moving around before. So what happened before when I was mentioning this with Bitcoin was we started watching the OTC moves, or the wallet moves. And before we knew it, as people started to recognize what was going on, which really what it was value being exchanged, because all of a sudden BlackRock had their allotted amount of Bitcoin that they wanted, right? So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, BlackRock is full. Their tank is full. Didn't affect the charts much, but as soon as word got out, Bitcoin ran to 70K. People realized what was going on in the background, loaded up on some Bitcoin. Some of the OGs got out. Well, just to let you know, that same situation is happening with Ethereum right now. I'm starting to see a lot of Ethereum moving in the within wallets, new wallets, just strange looking behavior that more than likely is the same thing that was going on, is people unloading to people who don't want to affect the markets too much. Because ETF was approved and the Ethereum ETF is now a viable product. It's going to take them a little while to get it up and running, but it is. And it's been, wow, the fact that it was approved gives a lot of credence to all of our DeFi ecosystems that we have, because it looks like the way they're setting up the rules are to favor that that legislation that they made, or that decision that they made to allow Ethereum to operate as an ETF, is going in favor of DeFi, which was not the case not too long ago. And now you're also noticing, because of this presidential elections coming up, everybody's minding their P's and Q's. And it appears that this was a political move by the incumbent administration to gain favor from the crypto community. And the other candidate is also saying that he is favorable to crypto. So now all of a sudden, everybody's in favor of crypto. And Gary's just kind of fading back into the weeds, right? So anyway, good news this week. Things are happening. Markets are looking good. I am excited to bring on our guest, because we're going to have an update. If you guys don't remember, AJ from Sparkswap, one of the brilliant minds out here in the crypto community, who's created some really cool bridging products, and he's got an exchange, and he's doing some stuff with 404s. We're going to have a good conversation with him about that. Let me say hello real quick to everybody in the chat. Stinky Beans, Mr. Jackie, what's up? Everybody, go tweet this out, get people in here. I want people to come check this one out today. Again, you guys all know that I am the Hexagon, But when it comes to people building in the DeFi space and leaning into our communities and making things better, and doing things right, and being upstanding citizens within the crypto community, I want to talk to them. I want to give them a place to have discourse. That's what our channel is, Discourse Syndicate, and that's what we want to do is embrace everybody that's out there doing good work and bring it to the communities. And again, I am not in any way shilling anything other than Hex, which I've always done, because I know what it is. Everything else is experimental. Everything else is trying to build in this new wild, wild west that is the DeFi space. And we've got some people in this community that are doing absolutely amazing work. And that's undoubtedly the human being I'm bringing up here in just a second. Tam, thank you. RG is the GOAT. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. SJ is our community sweetheart. Yes, she is. I'm doing great. Okay. I'm SJ slamming me with messages because I got to talk about one more thing before I bring up my guest. And thanks, Validator Dashboard. Yes, good to see you, Crypto Cray. All right. So next week, the first group of the tour of the PulseChain tour is headed out to Europe. So they're going to be, well, first of all, they're going to go gallivant and screw around in Malta, which we don't have an event there. So I don't know why they're going to Malta. Oh, wait, I know why they're going there. They're going there to party because they've been. Did you want to explain yourself?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, my bro.
So I wasn't invited out to Malta, but everybody else was. So they're all going to Malta to have a big party and spend a week out there hanging out with each other. They're all rented out of a hotel, and they're just, yeah. So it's going to be cool. If you're in that area, go to Malta, hang out with everybody. But the tour is going to be starting. I'm working on it. So the tour is going to be started in Amsterdam in just a couple of weeks. And then they'll be moving through Germany from there. And we'll all meet up in Venice for the tour, getting on the ship and doing a cruise all the way down to Greece, landing a couple of spots down our way down there. I think there's a big Hexkin meetup offshore and from the boat, and people waiting for us onshore in Greece. So if you can get out that way, we're going to be there. And then we're going to be going to Portugal, from Portugal to back to Germany. And gosh, I wish we had the schedule in front of me, but thanks, SJ. And then from Germany, we're going to be going back to London for the end of the tour. And that will be our European leg of the PulseChain tour. So check it out, pulsechaintour.com, and come hang out with us, get some VIP tickets, and break bread and have some real good conversation. Oh, there it is. It's in the chat room now. So any of the information, you go to pulsechaintour.com. All right, everybody. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring up one of the brilliant minds of the DeFi community, the man who has created Sparkswap himself. AJ, the man, the myth, the legend. What is happening, my brother? How you doing? Let me move you over.
Captain, what's up, brother? Always happy to be back chatting with the captain. So, and yeah, man, as you said, the heat is getting high in the kitchen, but we're nonstop cooking, brother. So we've been cooking all throughout the bear, now leading into the bull. We have a ton of updates around Sparkswap, and yeah, man, just happy to be back and hanging out with you, brother, for sure.
Yeah, good to have you here. So give us well, first of all, for some of the people who are new here, would you just give everybody a lowdown on what you did and what you're, let's do even better than that. What solution were you trying to bring to the DeFi space with Sparkswap, and just kind of tell everybody what the gap you saw was and what you're trying to do to fill that gap and what you've done.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a crypto OG. I've been in the space for over 10 years now, which again is crazy to think. Time flies when we're having fun. But we've had other successful protocols within that time frame. They're still operating now. The original protocol is EMP Money on Binance Smart Chain, and we were always big fans of Richard Hart, the PulseChain ecosystem, all that Richard said he wanted to bring, and even before Richard even created Hex or Pulse, even his early days of being one of the most brilliant people in crypto. And so again, when Hex came out, I was a major participant and OG in Hex as well. Learned all that ecosystem, did extremely well, and then we transitioned into launching Pulse Chain. And all along, we knew that there needed to be real infrastructure built on Pulse Chain because without the builders, you have the most amazing chain on the planet. But if nobody is building and nobody is there, it doesn't matter. So we were always of a mindset of what can we bring that is real product market fit to Pulse Chain, and we did that right off the bat. So Sparkswap started as an AMM or an automated market maker on top of Pulse X, and then quickly we transitioned into our own DEX. So now we are a full-fledged exchange, and one of the major things that we offered right off the bat was our bridge. And so again, talking about real infrastructure and what we brought to the table, so to speak, with PulseChain was more ways to onboard people to PulseChain. And even to this day, we're one of the only functioning bridges between Arbitrum and Pulse and Binance Smart Chain or BNB Network and Pulse. And even at that, I mean, we are faster and cheaper in most cases than the main Ethereum bridge because, again, with our technology, an average bridge time is about 2 minutes. So you're still waiting over half an
Wow.
hour on the main Ethereum bridge. So yeah, man, that's what started this whole Sparkswap, rollout for sure.
So you're successfully bridging through 4 different chains at this point.
Yeah, so a total of three.
Okay.
It's Arbitrum, BSC or BNB Network, and Pulse. We chose not to build on Ethereum because there's already the main Ethereum bridge. However, we have a sister protocol that we have built as well on the Manta network, which is a layer two for Ethereum. And that will be our next integration. So again, we already are up and running as a successful bridge, but we will be adding more and more chains to get more and more people exposed to Pulse.
Very nice. Very nice. So that's the gist of it. Now let's hear some
For sure.
updates on what's going on.
Yeah, man, no doubt. So we'll try to be short and sweet here. But again, we have a lot going on. So the bridge was and is, one of our main products. We've also introduced the vaults. So we talked a little bit about this on our last stream with
Mhm.
the captain, but we're continuing to add more and more utility to our auto vaults. So auto vaults are a way to essentially automatically compound your farm positions into more LP. So again, just as a high level overview, with any decentralized exchange, you are rewarded for providing liquidity with a reward token or incentive token. In the case of PulseX, it's actually called incentive token. And that token is usually just meant to be sold. We have a very different model called the Sparkler, which again we can talk about in a minute as well. But the farms, again, they emit this reward token, and then it's up to you to manually either sell that or buy pulse with it or reinvest into the LPs. But our vaults actually do this for you automatically, and they're not only compatible with SparkSwap, but they're also compatible with Pulse X. So if you have a farming position on Pulse X where you're getting ink rewards, you can put that LP in our vault instead of on the farm, and it will automatically compound or take profit. There's a whole bunch of farms and vaults for your different investment strategy and personal take on how you want to handle it. But the idea is that it makes it way easier. It automates the whole LP providing process, and it's basically buying or DCAing into Pulse if that's what you're using your rewards to go for over time. And so we've had a great product market fit again with the vaults. And like I said earlier, one thing that makes Sparkswap really different is that we take a lot of inspiration from Hex, and we have a revolutionary staking protocol called the Sparkler. And whether you stake for 1 day or up to 10 years, which is our 3650 gang, just like the 555 5 club, and that's the maximum stake in Sparkler. And rather than getting rewarded in additional tokens like you do with Hex, you actually get a portion of the real yield from the protocol. So all the swap fees, all the bridge fees, all the fees that we produce as a DEX is then split up between stakers inside of Sparkler. And again, Captain, this is really unique because it gives a utility to the reward token. So again, people don't necessarily sell it on the market, and they instead put it in the Sparkler. So I know it's really complicated on the surface, but it is really powerful. Yeah,
Are you kidding? We're Hexicans, man. We can figure any of this shit out.
I love
We've
it.
been,
Yeah.
we've been working on DeFi protocols and figuring this stuff out for a while now. I know we got some new people, and that's why there's a question here from our producer SJ. She said, AJ, is there any kind of step-by-step guide on how to do what you said? For example, I have a tiny PulseX farm. How do I link that to Sparkswap and get
I love it.
rewards?
Yeah, absolutely, SJ. So again, the short story is we have a full tutorial video on our YouTube. So if you look under SparkSwap, or our actual YouTube channel is EMP, EMP.money, we'll have a full tutorial there from our original YouTube channel. But the short answer is you would literally just remove your farm position on PulseX. You would then go to the vaults on SparkSwap, and then you would search um, all the different vaults that include the PulseX LP that you have, and then you can look and see what ones you would like to be involved in, different APR, different take profit strategy, and now again using our technology, you're able to auto compound or auto take profit on those positions.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I'm sure she'll get the link for the YouTube video.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and we do our own actually we have one tonight. We do our own AMAs every Monday and Thursday. So if anybody has questions and wants us to walk through it, in real time, we can definitely set that up for sure.
Right on, right on. All
All
right, we'll
right.
continue with the updates.
All right,
We're
man. No doubt. I know I'm gonna try to get through it, Captain. I appreciate you bearing with me here. And yeah, if
all
anybody
right.
has questions as I go, just interrupt me for sure. But the other really cool thing that we released shortly after our chat again a few months ago, we now have a fully fledged decentralized perps platform on PulseChain. And what that is a leverage trading platform that is completely decentralized. No KYC, no middleman, no risk of your funds being withheld. When you have a winning trade, and we have built this from the ground up. So it's not a fork. It's a whole new model. There is one other perps platform on Pulse. Again, shout out to them. But they are what's called a GMX fork. And what that means is you have to have full collateral to be able to trade. So you have to actually deposit Pulse or PulseX or Hex or whatever asset you're trying to trade. There has to be full collateral. And in theory, that sounds really good because if the collateral's there, it's safe. But it's very limiting in terms of opening trades because if there isn't enough collateral, you can't open a trade, or if you're doing well in a trade, they actually are able to close your trade early because they don't have enough collateral to pay out the winning. So again, that GMX style can be very limiting. And so we are a proprietary platform that is not a fork, but it's loosely based on the GNS platform, which is the Gains Network. And this is a leverage trading platform that operates with one large liquidity pool. So rather than having to have every asset that you're actually trading, it's actually all settled in our stable token, which is SDAI. So SDAI stands for Spark DAI, and it's fully collateralized with actual DAI. We've maintained peg from day one at $1. We have again stabilization bots that always make sure SDAI is at $1. It may go above and below 1 cent like every other stable token, but we have a very very sustainable track record. And to that point, when you go long or short on Bitcoin or ETH, you'll open it in SDAI, and then you're paid out in SDAI. So we have over $400,000 of liquidity right now. So we're able to do massive volume based on that, and we're actually running a competition at the moment, all of May. The people that share the most winning trades and have the most engagement are going to be given a $500 bonus. So we're really again trying to push perpetuals. And really, Captain, honestly, brother, the reason that we built this perps platform was to keep people on PulseChain. So because we have the bridge, we have access to a lot of data. And when people were, when the bull run was heating up a few months ago, and Ethereum and Bitcoin really started to move, we saw a lot of people leaving Pulse, and that was the beginning of that dump that we're still experiencing. But the idea is that we don't want people to have to leave Pulse to get exposure to Ethereum and Bitcoin, and now they can short and long right on Pulse without ever having to bridge off their assets off of the chain. So again, man, everything that we do is to help Pulse overall as well.
Right on. Good stuff.
Cool.
Well, I mean, that's what we're supposed to have here on PulseChain is products that are going to have market fit and keep the traffic over on PulseChain. I mean, it's cheaper, it's more efficient, and that's what we want as users, right?
Yeah, 100%, brother. And that you bring up a great point. I mean, we'd be able to build a perps platform on ETH, and there are perps platforms on ETH, but you get absolutely eaten alive by fees. And so again, Pulse itself is very attractive for builders that want, an engaging chain with low fees. I mean, we have definitely built a great ecosystem so far, and again, I think that what you said earlier about the ETF approval, in my eyes, PulseChain is sort of a leverage position on ETH because again, the OA wallet, allegedly, whether it's withdrawn or not, he bought $100 million of ETH, and we're up from that now, especially with the recent ETF approval. So again, if you believe that those funds will be able to support Pulse in the future, then we're looking really good. And I know that the infighting and the chart, as you said, a lot of people come and go when times get tough. But I think the real ones will and always have been here, the entire time.
Yeah, they have. I just lost my train of thought, doggone it. I was going to ask you something.
No worries. Yeah, if you think of it, you can interrupt me. I have one more update too, and then I'll stop with the rapid fire here.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
no, yeah.
We'll save that because we have plenty of time. Unless you got to go.
Yeah, we're good now.
So the one thing, the hedge, you said that PulseChain is a hedge on Ethereum. Yes, the ETF is here, but really because PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum, it obviously is going to receive the same favor legislatively or legally as Ethereum. So where ETH goes, PulseChain goes, which is cool.
Totally.
But I did see an update come from Vitalik today about new features coming that are going to fix Ethereum, but not until 2025. Did you see any of that, or do you know what's going on with any of that?
Yeah, no doubt. I know, again, Vitalik's always trying to implement different ways to save gas. The EIP 599 or something like that
Yeah,
was
there you
the last update and what they're working on currently. But yeah, I mean, admittedly, it has helped a little bit. But when you look back, again, a $50 gas fee is absolute ludicrousy. But even a $5 or $10 gas fee is still pretty ridiculous. So we
go.
still have a long way to go to get to a 2 cent gas fee like we have on Pulse. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I remember, and it wasn't that long ago, maybe 2006, 16, 7, maybe it was 16 when he said it, that Bitcoin's fees of 5 cents is ridiculous and should be criminal. I remember when he said something to that nature back in the day.
yeah, for sure. Well, and to your point too, Captain, I think it really does set a precedent. I mean, we should all be, whether you love Richard or you hate him or whatever, we should all be literally on our knees kissing his feet because what he is fighting for crypto overall with the SEC is extremely noble and it helps all of us, whether you are on PulseChain or not. So all of that comes together, and the more legislation, the more decisions, the more cases like Richard Hart is fighting now, that sets a legal precedence for the future in crypto. And again, uh, all of that is good for our bags. So that's what matters, man. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go off the chain a little bit on that and talk about something. So, and it's just, it's conspiracies, but I mean, when Richard came on the scene, in crypto, he was the guy trying to, put kind of self-help motivational stuff out there. His videos were very, really good guy stuff,
For
nothing
sure.
was, it was very humble, very, very thoughtful and heartfelt. And then he was always a great debater. He was always kind of in the face of adversity within crypto. People like Craig Wright and all, the people that were just spewing stuff that really didn't fit the real narrative of what was really going on, or speak the truth about what was really going on.
For sure.
There was that edgy part of him. But however, he was very smart, and even I noticed when I remember when he came out with the fluid dynamic token, and it was just like whoosh way over my head. It was just bright guy stuff all over for days, and I was very new to crypto I'm well, not very new, but newer to the DeFi and understanding the depths of programming, what was going on. I was more of a trader scam, getting involved with all the scam type of stuff, and I got led in every direction you can name it and got dumped on all the time. So that was my adventure in crypto before I found Richard and started to understand the what was really going on with the advent of DeFi and where he was trying to take it. And even he kind of left breadcrumbs the whole way. So somebody as brilliant as Richard, and I say this just to kind of set up an even longer question to you. So we watched his brilliance. We watched who he was as a human being and how he operated. We watched him launch Hex. And then we watched him turn into this character that was just like literally thumbing his nose at all of the authorities, almost begging them. I mean, this guy is a crypto developer, or knows how to manage teams of developers that built great products in the DeFi space, like brilliant products like Hex. And all of a sudden, he goes and buys the world's most expensive diamond. He's wearing clothes that, like, he's twerking on video in the face of everybody, like almost like to say, "Come get me, come get me, come get me." And then they bite. And now here we are. And as smart as Richard is, on top of it, I mean, you look at every angle that he's taken, and it's like the best lawyers to fight up against the SEC are literally 11 of the finest sitting in his case right now, which is a case that is riddled with just unprofessionalism, holes. It's just, what's your opinion on all of that? Do you think that was a setup? Do you think that he like literally lured them in and checkmated them? What's your opinion? Or do you think this is just a big hodgepodge of freaking, amazing mistakes that happened to lead us where we're at today?
Yeah, no doubt, Captain. Again, bro, I love this. I love this question, and I love the narrative too. I mean, I agree 100%. Those that have followed Richard from, again, I don't want to say the beginning, but for a long time, they know what kind of person Richard is. And if you actually go back and do your research and watch the streams, like you said, he's a master debater, and he knows how to control a room. He knows how to control a community and an audience. And all of that plays into, what happened after Hex and then eventually Pulse. And, do I think his ego got in the way a little bit? Absolutely. But that's only human. I think that once he had all these funds sacrificed, maybe it went to his head a little bit. But I wholeheartedly 1000% believe the outrage marketing, all the, quote unquote, bad guy kind of persona that he had, I think all of that was absolutely intentional. And we can't argue with it because that is what actually brought people to sacrifice and to get excited about Pulse. And furthermore, to your point, I do think it was, a bait tactic for the SEC. I think, obviously, Richard is not dumb enough to do all that he did without a plan. And I think the plan is absolutely that he wants the SEC to go after him. He also wants to ruin people that bet against what he's doing, which I also think is great poetic, what I like to call poetic justice, because all the haters and all the people that fight Hex and Pulse and everything else, those are the ones that end up losing. And we see it now. We see this shakeout where even some of the most influential people in Hex and Pulse have lost faith and left. And I absolutely believe that Richard is just waiting to press that button where, again, everything, all the green candles we think we were going to have on Pulse actually finally happen. And it is a shakeout. And yeah, I think that, again, his ultimate goal all along was two things. Number one, it was to get in a position that he can fight the SEC like he is now, and set that precedence for blockchain being speech, and that code is free speech. I think once that is, you know, determined, we see the floodgates open, not only for Pulse, but for all of crypto. That's why, again, we should be thankful that he is fighting. And number two, and this is a lesser talked about narrative, but I think that, along the lines of Hex, where he gave people the tools to create their own destiny, and lock up Hex and get the rewards, I think that Pulse chain itself is also part of that mentality where he put Pulse chain out there so that builders like us and other people that are passionate about blockchain have a platform to build and to deliver without all the noise and the dilution of ETH or Binance Smart Chain or Solana or any of the big dogs where you're a minnow in a whale in a whale filled ocean. We are all here at the beginning of Pulse Chain, which gives that same opportunity, just like you did with Hex, for all of us to succeed. I think that's another really important narrative that really doesn't get talked about a lot.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't think that Richard wants to build everything. I know he knows that there are a lot of things needed, so he created,
For sure.
the tracks to ride on, and said, "You guys go do it." And if it wasn't his brilliance that did this, what a wonderful series of events to have happened with, first of all, he attracted the smartest people in crypto. I mean, all of these subgroups that are now growing in the Hexagon community are there's just brilliance in there. All of them. Everybody's projects may have a different twist on things, but they're all very brilliant. And because he brought up a chain that allows you to go out and program DeFi in a way that's efficient and anybody can do, I think he's really done something amazing there in and of itself alone. And like I said, if it wasn't him doing it, then I look back at all of the instance, we talked earlier about who he was and what he did and how he did it. And then in my opinion, in your opinion, also, he kind of baited them into this very, very simple, easy to defend trap that they came and got him for. Like, I mean, the receipts are there. It's almost like they should be embarrassed of the case that they're bringing forward. But the narrative within the case in the docket, when you see what the lawyers are saying, when you hear the freedom of speech and the program and the freedom to program and blockchain of speech and all this stuff that's in there, wow, they're setting that up for a win-win, not only to vindicate what they've accused Richard of, but to also bring up some very, very important arguments in this case that may have precedence, far-reaching, far beyond this case. Very, very interesting how that's all setting up. This whole thing, I mean, for instance, the early adopters of Hex, we did well. Those that came in the adoption amplifier days, we did well. We staked long, we did well. And then when we were all receiving our liquid Hex and things were looking good and we were at the top and everybody was, singing Kumbaya, he said, "Give it all back to me."
Yes, brother.
And I thought that was brilliant that we all gave him back all of the gains that we made within Hex. And then we had to sit it out for the last 3 years, and I know that that's made sour grapes with a lot of people. Who may have over leveraged themselves or whatever. But, that move alone was another one that was just like, wow, we all had to give our Hex back to the man that gave it to us.
For sure, brother. Yeah, and again, I think that was also a planned move. Again, I know it creates sourness with people, like you said, that may have overinvested or over leveraged. But again, that is part of the brilliant economics and tokenomics that Richard, nobody in crypto knows game theory and tokenomics better than Richard. And I think all of that plays into what we've seen happen. And again, you go back and listen to literally all of his live streams and all of his communication. One of the number one overarching themes in all of it is delayed gratification. And again, I think that is also part of that poetic justice, that we're not here to get rich quick. We're here to actually build and participate and be in it for the long run. And that is where the true gains will eventually happen. So again, a lot of people say going down with a sinking ship, but there's too much brain power and, like you said, other individuals now, even outside of Richard, that are building amazing things that are furthering the chain, that are making a difference. And again, I think that's way too. It's way too. It's not a coincidence. There's no way that all of that is just a happy accident. In the words of Bob Ross. So, yeah, man, for sure.
So what one question somebody just brought up, well, it's not a question, it's kind of something, this is another thing maybe to tap into real quick. I remember Richard saying that if we were lucky, one day through discovery in court, we would find out the true details of the origin address and how it is set up / control. That's an interesting thought, because we've always, if you were around in the beginning, folks, Richard was always talking about the OA as, you don't know who it is, what it is, or how it's set up. It could be a company, it could be a DAO, it could be all kinds of things you don't know and you don't need to know. It's none of your damn business. And saying one day that it may be exposed. He said that a couple of times too. But interesting that could be something on the table during this hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I mean, I think that the whole OA wallet too is a whole nother strategy that we can talk about. The fact that there is an OA wallet that does control the majority of the funds. I mean, again, you have to trust that OA wallet is benevolent, and you can prove on chain that it has been. And so again, I think that plays into this this really, and again, I hate to even compare it to a cult, because I know a lot of the haters compare it to that, but it is it's a trust factor, and in crypto it's very difficult to trust, and so I think that is all part of this, again, a test, so to speak, right? Like we're being tested on our true fortitude with what's being built. And yeah, the OA wallet plays right into that. And we see that too, even with some other popular coins that are launching on PulseChain now. They have a similar structure where there is a giant whale that holds a lot of the supply, and it reduces the circulating supply. Those tokens aren't burnt, but uh, it's the same effect as long as you trust the person or entity that is in control. So again, that's a whole different something we really haven't seen a lot of in crypto until Richard came along.
Yeah. And I think for me, that was the reason I went all in on Hex, as far as being a contributor, wanting to see it grow and expand, develop, and the community build behind it, was because and for me, I understand trust as an equation, and people run
For sure.
around with that word and they don't understand that in order to trust somebody, you have to trust them. You don't sit back and wait for somebody to prove that that you can trust them. Yeah, there are things that indicate how you can trust them, but trust has to be extended. Meaning, it's a give and take. So you have to give somebody trust and allow them to do certain things or speak into your life, or you have to extend that out. And most of the crypto space didn't do that with Richard. They came at him, called him a scammer, told me he's full of shit, blah blah blah, you name it. But those of us who said, okay, well, I'm gonna, based on what I know of this guy and how I feel about it, I'm going to give him this much trust here, and it reciprocated. And he did the same thing with the community. He came in and trusted all of us. And I think that was, for me, the reason why, everybody says, oh, it's a cult and this and that. No, it was about trust. We developed trust with one another. And that's how, we came into this kind of strange symbiotic relationship, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's an equation, not just a thing that you have to do with somebody who proves themselves. I think it's along the way that trust gets proven.
No, I agree, Captain. I think that was a beautiful recap of how the situation that we find ourselves in, and the whole other variable and all that is that there is a bit of anonymity with crypto. I mean, it's crazy because in the real world you can look at somebody, you can shake their hand, you can get to know them in real life, but in crypto we have this anonymity and this these personalities that we have to just kind of go by. And it really is, again, the psychological, that we could do a whole stream on the psychology of crypto. But it's really cool to me that, and you mentioned this earlier, and it's something that we talk about in our own community. It's amazing how, even with all of those different personalities, not really seeing someone face to face, that like-minded people are drawn together, and that just shows, again, the power of human nature, and the psychology of crypto, that yeah, there are some of the brightest minds in crypto are building on Pulse, and they could have built on any other network, but they're not. And so there's something to be said for that, man. Again, I don't think that's a happy accident, for sure, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's part of the plan. Well, I think it's also organic within crypto for this to be the way it goes, because it's not, crypto isn't something that is institutionalized. It's not something that is advertised. It is not commodified to be completely honest. The expansion of it is not commodified. We've seen what has happened with the commodification of crypto with the centralized organizations that are out there that have really made a mess of it, to be honest, and garnered the favor of the powers that be to actually come and usurp it. Let's face it, they sold Bitcoin off to the highest bidder, which was BlackRock, and now the biggest financial foe of all of the crypto space now owns the Bitcoin. And I think that it was a natural migration of the smart folks, the people that really care about crypto, to move to DeFi, to move over and start to move into the more decentralized platforms, the more decentralized way of exchange with the dexes. And boy, what a great time for Uniswap to have finally done that for us. And I know that there were other dexes before that, but they just weren't successful. And really, I think, Hex had a lot to do that. Richard did help make Uniswap popular and made it useful. And, now we see all the dexes out there. And I think it's an organic migration from the centralized world of crypto, which is dying a centralization death, to, a more DeFi based platform here, which is where we're all at now.
Yep, I agree 100%, brother.
Right on. Well, hey, you had another update too, right? Did you have another update? I think you wanted to talk about some 404 stuff you guys are doing.
I do, brother. I have one more update, and then again, I know we're going on an hour. We can take some questions at the end as well. But yeah, we're also again let's bring it back to Richard himself. He said, I hate NFTs, and that NFTs are only expensive JPEGs, and so we listen to that. We feel the exact same way. So we wanted to create a new standard that actually gives value to NFTs. And I think that is the way of the future of NFTs. Again, it's not about a picture of a monkey. It's about NFTs that represent a concert ticket or a deed to your property, or an NFT like with the V3 models that represent your LP that is actually earning real yield, and has a use case. And so we've always built things with that in mind. And a few months ago, we saw the ERC 404 standard released, and this is a new token standard that originally started on Ethereum, um, with a project called Pandora. And what it is, it's really unique because a ERC 404 combines both the fungible and non-fungible elements of a token. So we're all used to the ERC20 that we trade every day as a token, and we all know an ERC 721, which is just your typical NFT. Well, the 404 ERC 404 combines both of those, and so again, this is bleeding edge technology. So bear with me here. It gets a little complicated, but you get if you buy a Spark or any 404 token, given an NFT as long as you have one whole number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. As long as you have one token that is a whole number, you get an NFT that corresponds with that. And vice versa. If you have an NFT, you have a token. If you sell that NFT, it will remove or get rid of your NFT, transfer, sell, whatever. It will move or sell that token with it. And why this is so powerful, Captain, is the number one downside to NFTs is that once you buy them, you have to pray to God that somebody is going to buy them from you. Whether it's a higher price or not, even if you're at a loss, you have to hope that they buy them. So we're actually giving liquidity to NFTs. So you're always able to sell your token into the liquidity pool, just like any other token, and get out or take profit on the NFT. So it's really powerful. And we've even taken it a step further, brother. We are the first 404 in all of crypto other than our sister project over on Manta, which we built as well. But we're the first technology in all of crypto that added reflections to the 404. So what does that mean? That means that there is a small buy and sell tax on the NFT or the token, and then that tax is rewarded to all the other users that hold the NFT. So again, I know we have a lot of hexagons here. Think about it as those that early withdraw from Hex, we get all of their interest. Well, it's the same sort of principle where all the NFT holders are getting a portion of that volume that's being bought and sold. And so you can literally earn more NFTs or take profit in the rewards that you're getting. So it's really unique. We've seen a great launch so far. We're still above the launch price even today. So again, man, and the number one thing that really was beneficial to the whole ecosystem is that the only way to buy these tokens, these or NFTs, is that you have to burn Spark. So between what is locked up in Sparkler and what we burned over the last few days, which was about 3 million Spark total, um, our circulating supply is only about half of what is shown on all the explorers. So again, Spark is very undervalued in terms of supply. It's been a major benefit to the ecosystem overall. And last but not least, we have built an NFT marketplace around the 404. So we continue to strive to be a one-stop shop on all the PulseChain, and now we even have an NFT marketplace that will eventually have other NFTs besides our own as well. So we're doing it all, brother. We have every vertical possible on PulseChain. Sure.
What's going back to the NFT marketplace? What's your plan on for? So right now you have your own NFT on the marketplace, correct?
For sure.
Okay.
Yep. So right now we have our own 404 on there. That is the first listing, but we are opening it up to be more what we like to call a boutique marketplace, where we're not going to take the time to index and run servers on every single NFT on PulseChain.
Yeah.
We're going to do it in a manner that we vet the projects a little bit. We know that they have communities. We know we'll also give priority to NFTs that actually produce yield. So, like I was saying earlier, if you have an NFT that actually has utility and use case, those are the NFTs that we want to highlight and that we want to list. So, yeah, it won't be a free for all, but it's a very specialized market. And again, it's bullish for Spark and Pulse overall, not from the product market fit aspect of yet another marketplace, but it also goes the fees from the marketplace also feed the platform as well. So
So the artists themselves that bring their artistic NFTs, how are they going to be treated? What's the plan for them?
yeah,
Is there
totally. Yeah, so we again, obviously, for those that know my background, I'm a professional artist outside of crypto, and so obviously we always take care of our NFT creators as well. And so yeah, we have it set to where we can specify not only a marketplace fee but also a royalty as well. So if there is a purely artistic NFT that somebody wants to list, then we can include a royalty to the artist every time that NFT sells.
okay? Cool. All right. Well, we're running out of time. Any other updates for? I don't know if there's any questions yet.
Yeah, we have any questions? I mean, I know it was a lot to take in, but we've been busy as hell, brother, and we're building an infrastructure that will only grow over time, and we're excited, man. And one last bit of alpha I can add too is we've also opened up the ability to add your own LP to our decks. So just like PulseX or 9inch or any of the other dexes on Pulse, you're now able to create your own LP on our deck. So if you're a project founder or a meme token, definitely feel free to add liquidity for your token on Sparkswap.
Very nice. All right, everybody. Let me take a look and see if I haven't seen any questions popping up other than by the dip is saying he made it seem like it would turn out to be a good setup because of securities laws. He couldn't tell us. That was Richard's the answer to Richard's statement on maybe the OA getting exposed during litigation.
For sure.
But other than that, I don't see anybody. Let's see. No, I don't see any questions. We're going to put all the links, everybody. I think that there was also Crypto Babe is one of your
maybe Crypto Babe. Yeah, man. That's LA. She's our team member. Yeah, she's helping me behind the scenes. And SJ too. I know we also mentioned maybe doing a giveaway. I forgot to coordinate with SJ, but maybe we can give away some 404s. SJ, are you still here? I don't know. You want to do it on? You want to do it now? You want to do it on Twitter? I apologize. I forgot to.
No, we could throw it. We could throw it in here.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think SJ had a plan for that. Did you, SJ? Here's the thing. I am the hater of giveaways because I've had
no doubt.
the worst luck on giveaways. Like me and Hexologists, ever since the Bunga Bunga and the Million Hex spin of the wheel giveaway, we have like totally tried to stay away from giveaways because it turns into a crap show every time that we do this. SJ, do you have
winner? Did we pick one? Yeah.
Let me see if she does. Maybe she fell asleep. Let me see what she put up here. What is that, SJ? Is that SJ? Are you there? Oh, wait a second. She sent me a message. Hold on. Oh, okay. She's like, what?
Oh man, I love it. All right, we'll coordinate. I can tag you on Twitter again or follow our socials. We're giving away 404s all the time. So again, man, I just want to get a few.
We'll do it on Twitter. She said we can do it on Twitter. We'll give away one on Twitter. And
all right, amazing.
We'll handle it that way. And then I've got some research to do because I'm putting together an art project myself that I'd like to dig into 404s more and see how that can help a community I'm trying to bring that to. So
absolutely, Captain. Well, let me know, brother. You get the fast track to the marketplace. So let me know, man. Happy to have you, brother. Yeah.
Well, you're awesome. Thanks, man. Hey, it was really good talking to you again, AJ. We'll catch you on the next update.
All right, you too, brother. Take it easy. Thanks, everyone. All right, bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Thanks a whole bunch. We will see you tonight. Actually, I'm going to have Fast Abdul back on for some updates too. So hitting the circuit because I'm going to be gone to Europe pretty soon. So we're making sure we get a hold of everybody, get everybody on. And hey, we'll catch you all. Or by the way, this is going to be about the 2 Fucks protocol. So anyway, give us a call or give us a look. See on when? What are we? Monday? Yeah, we got some stuff coming up on Wednesday too. So yep. But we'll see you tonight with Fast Abdul, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget Friday night hangout this Friday. Why is Hex better than Bitcoin? Well, first of all, it's the fundamentals of the code. The fundamentals of the code are better than Bitcoin's fundamentals. The inflation model is better than Bitcoin's inflation model. The staking feature is better than a mining feature. It's new tech versus old tech. It's decentralized versus centralized. Yes, all of those things